Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I just wanted to talk about Merab versus Jan. So yesterday, Dana White went live on Instagram, and he told us that Merab is fighting for the fourth time this year, defending his belt, the bantamweight belt, for four times in a calendar year, which is pretty impressive. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that, give you some light on the situation. So let's get into it. Number one, Merab is the greatest bantamweight of all time. All right, I will die on that hill. When Merab and Jan first fought, I'm a huge Piotr Jan fan. All right, and I hope you are too. He's a former champ as well, and I think his skill set is underrated. I think he's a great fighter. But in their first fight, I'll just break it down for you. I rewatched the fight just so I could make sure this is up to date. So in the first round, in like literally the first minute, Merab quickly shoots as he always does, and he almost got the back. But Piotr Jan, as we know, has great takedown defense. He did say though recently that in his first fight he was not like 100% himself. So we'll see if that actually applies. Which, even if he wasn't 100%, I still think Jan at 100% doesn't get the job done, but that's just my opinion. But Merab shoots multiple times in the first round. He does come out a little aggressive. His striking, in my opinion, does look pretty sharp in the first round. Jan's defending every shot, and it's just such a high output from Merab. And at the point, this is my first time seeing Merab fight because I'm a new generation of fan. You know, I've only been watching UFC for like 4 years, but it's probably the first time I've seen Merab actually fight. And I'm a Jan fan, like I said. And I thought Jan could have got the job done, but he didn't. And now I'm a Merab fan. Hate me if you want, but we can't deny that Merab is a generational bantamweight. But really throughout the fight, Jan never got the chance to really get his striking going. Like, we saw a couple of good lands on the chin, but it seems like he definitely had trouble timing and setting up his strikes. Jan did shoot for his own takedown against Merab, but Merab ended up reversing the position, and that was all just round one. And when it started the second round, the live odds actually did have Jan in favor just a little bit against Merab, which, as we know today, odds are like negative 300, 400 on Merab. Started the second round, Merab instantly shoots again. Jan's on the back pedal for most of these rounds. Merab finally can secure a clean double. Jan does kick out the leg of Merab at some point in this fight, ends up on top in an aggressive pace from both the fighters, and literally the rest is history. You know, went to decision, but I still feel like it was a good fight. If you think it's boring watching Merab, then you've got something wrong in your head, because Merab is a generational fighter. Now, is he greater than KHABIB on the GOAT list? I feel like Merab is definitely up there on the greatest of all time. Now, I know a lot of people be saying Jon Jones is the GOAT, and I simply think that's not true, but I also haven't been watching the sport since the debut of Jon Jones. So the only time I got to actually see Jon Jones fight live is when he just fought Stipe, which it was an impressive performance against a 78-year-old, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I think Merab is definitely well-deserved in the top 5 pound for pound, if not the pound for pound best fighter. And honestly, defending your belt 4 times in a calendar year is pretty impressive. We haven't seen that in a while, since I think there was one other person who did that in a year quite a while ago. I'm not sure about that. Fact check me if I'm wrong. But I think other champs should follow in Merab's footsteps. Now, here's the kicker though. Merab, he's called the Machine for a reason. I mean, after his 5 rounds, he looks like he's ready to go 5 more. I mean, I wish I had that endurance in bed. But I don't think Merab is a boring fighter, like I said. Other champs should follow his footsteps, but, you know, other champs they take damage, and Merab, he just doesn't seem to take damage. He doesn't look like he's breaking a sweat, doesn't look red from any strikes, which is why I think his turnaround time is so fast. I was going to record this with my friend, who is a MMA expert, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that today. My voice is a little shot from being sick again for the past 2 weeks, but still just wanted to hop on here, talk about Merab and Yan. We did have a couple other fights announced. Let's take a look at those. On the same card, we finally got announced Pantoja versus Joshua Van. And if you don't know, Joshua Van is a huge prospect. I mean, he's on an absolute tear. He's about to be the first fighter in the year 2000s to fight for a belt or become champion, one or the other, maybe both. But you might be riding the bandwagon or hype train of Joshua Van. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Pantoja will submit Joshua Van in the first round, and the rest is history. Joshua Van will be champion, but after Pantoja is out of the question. You know, I would love to see Pantoja versus Merab. You know, I think that's a much closer fight than... I think that's the closest fight Merab will have. Unless Merab does go up, but we'll see what the future holds. We also have Jan Blachowicz returning against Kuskov. Jan did lose to Carlos Ulberg in his last outing, but it's Ulberg. And Kuskov is the number 11, and Jan is number 3, so we'll see what happens there. He did beat Nikita Krylov in his last fight, but not much to work from here. He was supposed to fight Billy Alicana, but that did not happen. And in case you haven't watched Billy Alicana's last fight, if you've ever seen someone give up in this sport, well, that's your clip that you need to look at. We also have baby Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. This is going to decision, easily over 100 significant strikes. It's going to be a good fight. Might get fight of the night. And this last one that did get announced is pretty interesting. I actually DM'd Peyton Talbot on Instagram. I did not hear anything back from him, but I was asking him when his next fight is. Well, a day later, we got that announcement. We got Peyton Talbot versus Henry Cejudo on 323. Henry Cejudo made the move up to bantamweight after unretiring or something like that, and he hasn't won since. But all you Peyton Talbot hype train riders, we saw what a little grappler did against him. Yes, in his last fight, his grappling did get better, but against an Olympic gold medalist like Triple C himself, we're about to see Henry Cejudo get that decision victory. Merab wipes Cejudo if that ever happens again. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about and hop on here. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Feel free to subscribe. You know, that would really show you actually like this stuff and like the video. Anyways, not sure what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Friday, I'll give you my best picks for Saturday's card with Renier Diddler and Brendan Allen. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys later.